Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!
We're going streaking!
Dave's Video Graveyard.
That guy in a little coat. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
I'm not a smart man.
Shut up!
One cubby.
What's wrong with him?
My first thought would be alive.
Why so serious?
Wise man say forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza.
Hail to the king, baby.
Hey, Ma! The meatloaf! We want it now! The meatloaf!
Of all the radio shows in the world, this is definitely one of them. Dave's Video Graveyard on 100.5 WOW FM.
Okay, you people sit tight, hold the fort, and keep the home fires burning. And if we're not back by dawn, call the president.
It is 100.5 WOW FM. I'm going to get it right this week, Paulie. This is Dave's Video Graveyard for another Monday night. And with me, as always, my counterbalance of, I guess you'd say, taste.
Yeah.
Paulie, how you doing, man?
Good, man. How about yourself?
Not too bad. How's your week been? Much happening in the way of movies and whatnot?
No, not much this week. I went out into society.
Wow.
On Saturday night.
You
I went into saw She's a Band play. There's the EP launch, which was awesome. Saw an awesome band called the PBCBs that everyone should see live.
Yeah, right.
And then I went back into my cave.
Nice.
And I'm happy I made contact.
You just printed out like stills from the new Halloween movie coming out and just like starfished on your bed with them?
Oh, my Lord.
I know you're excited. Now, I'm very excited because joining us tonight is local burlesque legend. I'll put the word out there, set the bar high. Miss Curvella, how are you?
I'm good. I don't know about legend. I'm not that old. Calm down, Dave.
No, it's more of a,
I
you
like
know.
her.
I've been around.
She's already taking swipes.
I'm having a rough week when it comes to age. So I've got a midlife crisis on lay-by.
What?
So
Okay.
I apologise.
But you're bringing me
Because
into
I'm
it.
getting super excited finding succulents I don't have in people's front yards when I'm going walking and stuff. I'm stealing offcuts from people's yards to plant in my own garden. And mumble rap's so upsetting when my kids listen to it. It's just... And I'm so old.
So in the last week, you aged 40 years.
I have.
Cool.
Yeah, and
It
I'm
should be
ignoring...
a very, very smooth transition.
I'm still ignoring any water restrictions and stuff, though, when it comes to water in the garden, so I'm not that old yet.
I'm not a scientist, but a succulent.
I water them until they go to sleep and they don't need to be watered
Have you
anymore.
actually killed a succulent?
No, but I kill a lot of aloe vera, even though that is a succulent. Anyway, this is Dave's Video and Gardening Graveyard, talking all about green thumbs. Give us a call. No, so tonight it is another guest choice special. And speaking of special, because I like to highlight words of the sentences I say, you have a special event coming up, a rock meets burlesque show. Why don't you tell us about that without mentioning price?
Thanks for the reminder. Yeah, I do. I finally got off my backside and put my own show on. Yeah, it's called Burlesque Bad Girls, featuring rock band The Babes, which are awesome.
Good friend of
You
the
would
show,
know,
name
yeah.
drop.
Two awesome sisters rocking out with us, performing live while we perform to them. So yeah, that's at Nexus, November the 24th.
And if people were to head to your Facebook, would be the best way to find their way to getting a ticket?
Of course, I'll be smashing promo on my Miss Curvella page and my
only
personal...
a few weeks in, you're already absolutely killing it with ticket sales,
Yeah.
so people probably should jump on that
Yeah,
soon.
they probably should, because I'll miss out, and then that's not my problem.
So you had a little bit of trouble when it come to picking 12 songs.
Oh, I did.
Songs?
Songs?
Songs, yeah.
Films?
No, films. See? Because I got WOW FM right tonight, it pays it forward. Yeah, so you had trouble making your list of 10.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it depends. As with you as well, Dave. It's a mood thing. There's some crackers in there I love, and there's probably some that I've forgotten. But yeah, a good mix, I think, of, I don't know, music biographies. And
any list that's got Return for Oz on it is
I feel sorry for people that don't know that movie.
So many people don't know that movie.
I'm like,
it was a big part of my childhood, similar to the Neverending Story scene of the Artax sinking in the sadness.
Oh my God, I still can't watch it.
I'm still terrified of the Wheelers.
The Wheelers.
Oh yeah.
And I remember at one holidays when I was probably about 9 or 10.
You went to Oz?
Yeah. There was a tornado and everything. We travelled to good old Dubbo, New South Wales.
Dubbo.
Yeah. And while we were there, me and my sister were taken to the park near my auntie's house who we were staying at. Someone had graffitied "Beware the Wheelers" on the fence. And I cried and demanded to go back to my auntie's, and pretty much haven't been back to Dubbo because that's where the Wheelers are.
Yeah, like that's pretty cool though that someone did that.
In hindsight, I'm like,
very
I wonder
specific
if,
yeah, like whoa.
Then it got sad because it was like Brooks was here above the swing set. It was just upsetting.
I think the headless witch was like, when she woke up with no head, and then she had all the other. Like, she could pick heads, and they're all in their little cases. That was crazy. And she was like, Dorothy Gale. That was freaky.
I only saw this recently again, so
really?
it's just really
fresh.
So I was like, I was going to show my kid, and I was like, I'm not going to show my kid.
It's very dark now you think of it.
Yeah.
You know?
What I really like about it, it had the guts to basically... we're getting into the list in case nobody...
Yes.
What really stood out to me was... They took a property that was Wizard of Oz, which is like, the untouchable international, basically the Willy Wonka of the earlier days, and they just went the opposite. And they're like, you know what? It's not a happy ending.
Yeah,
here's what happened to Oz.
Twisted it.
So for anyone that hasn't seen it, Dorothy basically has to return to Oz. There's the name. I said it. Has to return to Oz because everything's pretty much gone to crap. Since she left.
It's quite the wasteland. Quite the Judgment Day-esque wasteland in there.
It was only just thinking about it, revisiting it for your list. It is so similar in archetype to the film Sucker Punch. In the sense that... No, I know you love that film. But just the sense that it's like... I love the sequel to Wizard of Oz. Features basically... They're going to give psycho shock treatment to Dorothy because they're like, you are making up this story.
Yeah.
See, for me, and I know it doesn't show in my very sophisticated elegance, my Oz had Michael Jackson in it. I wasn't a big fan of Mike. So, to me, Return to Oz is a weird sequel to The Wiz.
Oh, yeah. I was like, oh, my God. Yeah, no.
Yeah, without context, the fact that you said that your Oz is Michael Jackson in it.
Yeah, where's this going?
So then I got taken off that family. Good times.
I saw a tweet by, I think that's a comedian called Roy Wood Jr. tweeted the Thriller film clip from the perspective of the girlfriend, and it's hilarious because she has a horrible night where her boyfriend leaves her, then turns into a werewolf, and then takes her to a horror movie.
Happens.
Speaking of horror, get a quick plug-in. Starting next week here on DVG, we are celebrating a Shite-Mare month for Halloween because we both love horror movies, but we also really love terrible horror movies. So we're going to spend the entire month on both the podcast and here on WOWFM talking all about terrible horror movies.
I rewatched Halloween 4 the other night.
I haven't done it yet, but I'm looking forward to the Paul Rudd goodness.
I'm the biggest scaredy cat. Like, I cannot watch horror movies without shutting my eyes. I'm just...
sure I've told this story before. I was so scared of horror movies all through high school. And then when Scream 2 came out, so that gives it an age. When Scream 2 came out, the girl I was absolutely madly in love with asked me to go to the movies to see Scream 2 and Halloween Resurrection. And so instantly, my initial fear of horror movies was cured. I sat petrified the entire double feature in the movies, didn't try a move, didn't do anything because I was too scared of the screen to actually concentrate on the fact I was on a date. And that was kind of my...
Wow, he's using his puffer way more than
you. We only got halfway up the stairs. And so that was my introduction to horror. Then
no, I like horror
loved
movies.
it. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Went way too far over the edge, and then it was like, now I don't mind horror movies.
Yeah.
Because
Do you know what? The new It movie, though, I could watch the whole movie and laugh at it. Like,
yes.
And I wasn't scared. I was very proud of myself. See, like the original, I
Would
would
that
not
be
do
because
that.
Richie, basically the wisecracking foul-mouthed kid, that's what made it
Probably.
for my wife, because she also hates horror movies. But she was like, this is really fun. It's
Yeah.
like having a child you in a movie.
And maybe because I snuck a bottle of Beam in the cinema, maybe that helped a little bit.
That could kill Pennywise.
I wish I had witnessed that, because to this day, my favourite thing I've ever seen at a cinema, I always bring it up. A dude was eating a full Coles chicken in the cinema one day. Hot, like still in the hot bag thing.
Wow.
Opened it and...
It's not a good smell.
There's an initial smell of a roasted chicken that comes out of the bag, where you're like, okay, someone's either got a dirty nappy or there's some fried chicken.
Someone farted.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, that is.
I watched Black Panther with two guys eating like hot pizza next to me, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It's fine, like it's cool, and they could easily beat me up. They were huge, so I wasn't gonna say anything.
It's
but
just
yeah,
like you kind of want a piece.
Then
that got to the point, and I was just like, they were like,
jealous.
You gonna finish that?
Yeah.
It's like when you go to the movies and you either get... What do you get at the cinema? Are you a...
Choc top.
Choc top?
Mm-hmm.
I'm of two camps. I'm either Maltesers or Skittles, and I always regret my decision, because as soon as I sit down and open what I have, I hear someone else in the cinema drop the thing that I didn't get. Like I hear the distinct noise of Skittles falling on the ground. And so before I go and pick them up and eat them, I'm like, I really should have got Skittles instead.
That,
so
and they won't actually sell popcorn to you for what you do to the bottom of it.
Well, it's because I started putting the hole in the tub before they filled it. They were like, we can only fill it the certain quantity. You can't just fill it till the hole disappears. Good times. Yeah. Have you ever put a hole into popcorn?
No.
Why?
I can't say I have.
Do you know body? Okay.
No.
Like, what am I? Yeah.
It's okay.
Because then you put your hand through to hold hands to enjoy the films.
And it's 18 minutes in, and you made it weird. You're getting better. You're getting better.
I'm not that romantic, sorry.
In my defense,
say it's romantic.
I'm just like, don't hold my hand, just make out.
You don't even get to talk about movies, theatres anymore after you tricked me into sitting through pretty much 17 hours of the final credits of the recent Jurassic Park movie. There's a thing after the trailers that's amazing. To be treated to 2 seconds of just nothing happening. Thanks.
I regret nothing.
So we might get into a song and figure out what we're doing tonight here on DVG. It is 100.5 WOWFM, Dave's Video Graveyard, as we hear from the golden god of crutches himself, David Bowie, with Magic Dance, taken from the next choice here on Miss Curvella's list. And just taking a look at the IMDb, and the plot reads: a 16-year-old girl is given 13 hours to solve a labyrinth to rescue her baby brother when her wish for him to be taken away is granted by the Goblin King and his massive sack. Now, part of that's not in the official bio, but I did try and change it on Wikipedia, and I got another warning, so...
And every 5 minutes you just go, oh, it's not fair.
It is Labyrinth. Not the Labyrinth, because that's not what it's called. Tell us all about it.
David's crutch, or
yeah. Tell us all about David's crutch.
When I first saw David's crutch, I would have to say this is probably my all-time favourite movie.
Good answer. Yes,
it does it all. It freaks me out. It intrigues me. It's just crazy, and
What's your favourite
musicals?
character?
I don't like musicals, but this one,
yeah,
it's you can tolerate it. It's just, yeah. My favourite character would have to be Ambrosius.
Oh, yeah.
The dog. And when he runs over the bog of eternal stench, it's like, I could still watch. It makes me laugh.
Girls usually pick Bluto as their favourite.
Ludo. Is it Ludo?
Oh, Ludo.
Ludo, Fran. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was cute, but, you know, I like someone that can make me laugh, so.
It wasn't until maybe when I actually first started showing it to my sons that I realised that everything in the storyline is foreshadowed in the opening of her bedroom.
Yeah.
As in the MC Escher painting of the labyrinth and the stairs.
Yeah.
All that stuff. That's
It's
amazing.
trippy. Yeah.
And I still do not know how they did the practical effect of the junkyard lady toppling down into, that scene. That everything about this film is visually amazing.
It is.
Do you remember the first time you saw it?
No.
Be honest. Be honest with me.
I don't.
I feel
think
like
it's
you're
just,
holding back.
No, I don't. I mean, my memory's not that great, but, I think I watched it that many times that it's just gone into one,
Yep.
I don't know if my parents showed me it or... I'm not too sure how it come about, but, I mean, I remember just watching it repeatedly after that.
I had to videotape it, I remember, because it wasn't that easily available as it was, like...
Not for something done by George Lucas and Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
I reckon actually it was a family friend that was like really into video recording stuff at the time. Now I
Everyone
think of
had
it.
one.
My Uncle Les.
We all had pirated. we all had pirated VHS.
Yeah.
Everyone's dad knew a guy.
Yes.
That was into that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It was the video for me and my sister that we hired when we couldn't find something else to hire. Every week. So it was either that or Empire Strikes Back. Were like the rotation. It was
This, The Boy Who Could Fly, and
that was a good one as
what's the one? Oh, Batteries Not Included.
Oh, Batteries Not Included.
So that does not hold up, by the way.
I was actually going to just say I revisited The Last Starfighter, and I don't want to upset any film nerds, but that film is garbage looking. It's a great film. I love it. It looks like garbage.
And but Labyrinth, you can watch. I just recently watched it 2 weeks ago, and it's still amazing.
You can still see every vein in the crotch.
I was going to say
nugget
that.
pouch of Bowie.
How did your son take it? Like when you
pointed it out to him.
No, not the crutch. How did he take the whole movie?
My youngest son picked up on all the, because obviously Harry Potter, which I'm not into at all, because I don't like things that suck. They stole heaps of names and references.
Excuse me.
Hey, no. We've moved on. We've moved on.
It was a statement, not an
It's not
invitation.
Paul's Choice special tonight. So moving right along. Okay. He really loved it. Was also scared of the fire gang and wanted to fast forward it. At which point I instantly said yes, because I was just gritting my teeth with my eyes closed, not actually watching it. They really loved it. They knew the music so much. And then my older son made the link and goes, "This is the guy from the Dancing in the Street video with no sound." And I was like, good job. Disappointment.
It's amazing how, certain movies hold up, throughout the years. And I think that's one of them.
Definitely. It doesn't even have, like, which is a big... Me and Paul are finding we're doing a podcast now where we watch and tear apart a movie from our earlier years every week, and we've found, given the way the world is in 2018, so many movies we're revisiting are very problematic if you look at them from today's. The Labyrinth doesn't have anything that skirts other than just Bowie crotch, which
Stealing the baby, kind of.
No, that's all right.
The baby wasn't harmed.
It's very Australian to do if you're a dingo. I'm topical. You see, making jokes from 87.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, definitely. Yeah, there's no really crazy.
In other pop culture crotch news, did you hear that they show Batman's penis in one of the latest comics?
Did.
And everyone's like, half people are up in arms and half people are like, yes, you should say that.
I don't
even know what the context was.
I have a huge amount of love for crotch. But love for... Well, a lot of my friends are huge into comics and I don't care because it involves reading and reading's for dummies. There's a quote to put on my tombstone. When
Didn't
I
like
die
Harry
from
Potter
not
and
reading something.
didn't like Harry Potter and reading
Isn't
for
comics
dummies.
just pictures
Yeah,
that
but
tell a
still,
story?
It involves reading.
There might
I
be
won't
like
even
a
watch a subtitled
bam or a
movie. So,
pow.
but everyone,
That's stretching
Not-
for
like maybe one word.
everyone started talking about Batman's Wang, and I didn't know what it was in reference to because obviously they had all the Dark Knight movies on free-to-air TV. I'm like, I
So you
must have
started
watched the
freeze
wrong
framing
part.
that.
Yeah. So I watched all 14 hours of them in freeze frame. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, it's from the
because
latest issue.
I was like, I must have watched the wrong trailer for Joaquin Phoenix. Did I say it that time?
Joaquin.
I said it. That's what I said.
Joaquin.
In his Joker trailer. And I was
Have
like,
you seen his makeup?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Can't say shit on radio, so I didn't like it.
They went old school with it. It's cool.
Yeah, but it looks more like John Wayne Gacy than it does anything from a DC comic book.
Okay. That'd be scarier.
No.
Anyway, back to it.
He ran a fried chicken establishment of which I'm a fan, so Gacy's not that bad.
Put
So
that in your tombstone.
Put that on my tombstone. as
Serial
well.
killers are all right.
So have you ever been crazy attracted to someone with a Labyrinth tattoo? Anyone? No?
I don't know if I'm more attracted to your tattoo or your shirt at the moment.
I'm married, thank you. So I'll thank you to keep it in your pants.
Can I
Keep it in
just
your
say
popcorn.
that every time I see you, it's like your wardrobe threw up on you.
That's not very nice, Paul. I am a big fan of the 80s aesthetic of professional wrestling, and because I don't want to get hurt and be a wrestler, I'm doing the next best
You're
thing
like,
and just
like a
talking
box of
garbage.
Time for my
around.
day. That'll do.
I always forget, and even my kids are totally desensitized to them. I dress like this picking them up from school.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's everyone looking at?
You, Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no, they don't know either because they're just used,
They're used
since
to it,
day
yeah.
dot. This was what
And
Dad was.
they're comforting you like they're just jealous.
Yeah.
But the one thing that does hurt, the amount of people that I do hear in my presence goes, oh, that looks terrible. You would love that shirt, I bet. But I'm like, I already heard the first bit that you said. Thanks.
Yeah.
My style is called subtle sophistication.
Someone's got to wear it, you know?
That's it.
I think you wear it well,
Chicks dig it.
like
Okay.
Rod Stewart said.
Good times. So, just looking back at the list that I don't have handy because I'm very professional.
Are we going?
I think perhaps we could go to another song here on DVD as soon as I find the one which isn't in the right folder.
Wow.
Doing really well.
How did you get this job?
It is a volunteer position, believe it or
Can you
not.
tell?
I know what I'm going to do.
Do you want to talk about Rockstar instead?
No,
Yeah.
no,
No? Oh.
because I will.
Don't tell me what to do.
I would rather. I'm going to improvise. The song that I was supposed to put on isn't there. So watch this for thinking on my feet. This is Dave's Video Graveyard. It is Dave's Video Graveyard, pure professionalism here on WOWFM. There we heard from Warren G with What's Love Got to Do It. That one's taken from Police Story 4 with Jackie Chan. But it's also the name of the next movie that we're covering because I just am so good at what I do. I brought it all back, even
You
though
did.
I didn't have the Tina Turner song I was supposed to in the right folder. I'm doing so well because I didn't tell anyone that I did wrong. Talk. Get me out of this hole.
Well, what are we going to talk? What's the next film we're going to talk about?
What's Love
What
Got
have
to
we
Do?
got?
What's love got
It
to
is.
do with it?
Sorry, I missed that. Now, yeah, as you were saying before, it's a little bit controversy here. There's a bit of, bit of raw truth.
It's
not a nice story, but
I think it may have been one of the first films I watched when I was younger that featured domestic violence, such as a heavy plot point and tackled in a very grueling way. But it's pretty much the story of Tina Turner. And having a quick look at the IMDb description of this film, and it says that I should have scrolled to the right part.
Tina Turner, basically, it's about her relationship with Ike Turner, who was complete
Arsehole.
garbage
Him
fire.
and garbage.
Yeah. It's very confronting, but the best thing about it is Angela Bassett is amazing.
yeah,
Yes.
so good.
If I mean, she's amazing in most things that she does, but this was,
Yeah.
I think it's one of her first ones to break out, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So,
I
yeah.
bet your favourite film is Waiting to Exhale with her. For me, it's a terrible film with Eddie Murphy called Vampire in Brooklyn.
Oh, God.
I remember that one.
It's terrible.
So why did you choose this one?
I'm a big fan of music biographies, whether it's film or it's the only book I read.
Yep.
Books I read, sorry. And it's like, she comes out of it, stronger. It's kind of like, shit happens, but...
I like that her life basically had an actual moment that was the catalyst.
Yeah.
Where in the courtroom they said, if you want to keep the name Tina Turner... because it was at a time where you could get divorced and the husband had right to the name. So they basically said, well, he will get custody of the kids, the house, the fortune, the royalties thus far, and you will get your name and nothing else. And that's pretty much the end of the film, because that's the point at which she went, guess what? I'm Tina Turner.
Yeah. It was like, all that she worked hard for, she wasn't going to throw that away. And, material things didn't matter. That was her. People can say that Ike made her, but I believe she made herself.
Definitely. Yeah.
She was better than him anyway.
Oh, yeah. And whatever influence he had, just completely melts away once he's done, when he first hit her. So it's just, he's a piece of trash.
I found it interesting that the book that this was based on was written by both Tina Turner and Kurt Loder, the host from MTV back in the day.
He did a lot of
I didn't realise that he was a music journalist to that extent of writing all these bios.
He's done a couple of them, yeah. If you like music bios and you like bass players, I was saying off air, Duff McKagan from Guns N' Roses, his biography is awesome.
No, I haven't read that one. I read the band one, which wasn't... Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it basically goes through him meeting up with all the people like Guns N' Roses, and then he nearly basically destroyed his liver.
Yeah, he was full on.
Yeah, it also goes through Velvet Revolver and him and Scott Weiland and all that stuff. So yeah.
Nice.
The greatest musical smut book ever in the history of the world is Motley Crue's The Dirt.
Yeah, I've read that.
I absolutely love that because it is straight up the cautionary tale of here's what happens if you just be the worst people ever and have all the money in the history of the world to do it with, and this is how it ends up.
No F's given.
Nah, pretty much.
Scar Tissue is really good as well.
Yeah, I have heard that one's really good.
That's really good. He should be dead, really.
I have a hard time liking them anymore because I've heard there's a few stories about road trippers going around.
Read the book. You'll hate even more.
I remember reading the big expo on
the record company,
the A&R lady that worked for them for years and years, and it was
and they went really quiet.
Pretty much the record company said, okay, the Chili Peppers are coming in today, whatever they do doesn't really happen, so just know that's the official story.
Yeah. No, it's pretty crazy, the stories that they did, especially Anthony. He was crazy.
So I reckon go from that into riding in cars with boys.
We
you guys are like an old married couple.
Is it because we kiss so much and we're delightful?
Well, that's why, when you go to the movies, you put the hole in there.
No one out there,
and you guys hold hands and stuff. Like,
no one out there listening knows that we're both spooning in a bed right now because the studio.
I'm sure you're playing footsies under the table.
Yeah. The studio is in fact.
Those aren't two pillows.
The studio is in fact just pretty much the bed scene from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and we're currently top and tailing it, guys. A little peek behind the curtain of professionalism that is not this show. So while we're on the subject of music, should we not tackle the story of a 17-year-old rock and roller that rose to stardom and then took a plane flight to, most of the way to Fargo? We are talking about La Bamba. This is fantastic.
The worst ever introduction to this movie ever.
That's straight up from IMDb. I didn't even use any of my own words. I love this movie.
Yeah.
I loved Lou Diamond Phillips in this film and in Young Guns 1 and 2. And then recently, whilst watching The Wiggles with my daughter, he came on and sang Fruit Salad, or I think maybe Apples and Bananas, and I lost all respect that I had for Lou Diamond Phillips because he's aging in a way that he's He's just getting smaller.
Well,
And
he's
allowed
got
to
hold.
age.
Yeah.
no,
And the Wiggles are like, the most expensive bloody
true.
paid.
They do make more money.
If you're going to be corny, you just sell
I've
out.
always dreamed of meeting Lou Diamond Phillips because I really wanted to be like, because I know everyone that talks to him would be like, oh, I loved you in Young Guns 1 and 2, or, I loved you in La Bamba. I want to be the guy that's like, dude, I loved Bats so much. That was such a good film, as well as The Big Hit.
He's good, The Big Hit.
That's going to be a future episode on the podcast, which you can check out at daysvideograveyard.com. Speaking of checking things out, head over to facebook.com and look up Miss Curvella. And when you finish looking at all the photos at least 4 times until your kids come in the room, you then can check out the info on your upcoming Burlesque Bad Girls.
Yes, that's correct. November 24th. Tickets are selling pretty well, so as we said, get on it. I've got
who are you putting the show on with?
I've got some support from some awesome local companies. So we've got AdmoFab, we've got Almost Famous, Glenelg Beauty Bar, Bamalam Entertainment, and Dirty Devils Car Club.
And people can obviously jump on your Facebook and check out more about all that stuff.
All top people, and I thank them.
Now tell us more about La Bamba.
La Bamba, well, what about his brother? Let's talk about his brother. He had a few issues, but he was fucking great. Oh.
He was very good.
He was very good, yeah.
Weird static in the mic. Moving right along.
Yeah. He was a bit of a character, wasn't he? A bit of a pain in the back.
He was flipping great, as you said.
Oh, we should have put money on that.
Yeah. You did well. It's 47 minutes in.
No, my dad would be proud. So just a tragic story, really, isn't it? But yeah.
We should talk about also that you grew up around here, you're saying.
Oh, I
beforehand.
did.
Yeah.
So,
also you have a WOWFM story that you told us off air and said not to bring up. Apparently.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah.
Do you have any history with WOWFM's building at all? Anything?
Well,
just any stories. Any story.
Not that I can remember. I'm pretty sure I forgot what we spoke about. No, I used to live. Well, my parents still live not far from here. So we used to
stalking, ladies and gentlemen.
we used to gallivant the streets. I was telling Dave that I actually made out with someone in the front of this veranda of the WOWFM station when I was about 14, I reckon. It's one of my first make-out sessions.
That's where you pretend something?
I think we just, opened our mouths and kind of, sucked face.
Kiss making out. I thought you meant make pretend or make believe.
No.
Building a fort.
I wouldn't have brought that up if I'd known. Sorry. That's why I brought it up.
Well, we could bring up what you said after.
Maybe we shouldn't. This show's about movies and succulents, and I'll thank you not to bring up anything else that is discussed.
My bad.
Disgust being the key word.
Yeah, so I basically had one of my first make-out sessions at the front of this building.
Sweet, me too. My wife was like, it has been worth the 11 years that we've been together.
But yeah, it was pretty, embarrassing, awkward. So hopefully tonight
what would you give it out of 19? Because that's what 19. We do to films.
I'd say maybe 2.5.
2.5?
Oh.
Yeah.
So has everything since then been just really good? Or
well, it's only been,
how bad it was?
Anything, it always goes up from there. So,
but you had no point of comparison, so surely you walked home pretty happy with how life was.
That's what you're supposed to do, aren't you? Just put your lips together and kind of suck face and, yeah. No, yeah, work? So I've learnt to do better and...
You've learnt to kiss.
And to not, do it at the front of radio stations,
Was there an old person doing a show at the time? Just
maybe.
Stop it.
Yeah. You kids get off of here before I call your parents.
Now kiss the hose.
Now, if creepy people with Labyrinth tattoos go to the Burlesque show, can they have kisses? Will there be kisses on the night?
Yeah. You can run a kissing booth if you want.
Sweet.
You're coming, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guess what?
Well, you can.
You have the bar's no longer going to make money if I'm there selling kisses. I'll tell you that much.
They will, because you'll need about 10 drinks to kiss you.
No,
first.
because the fire service are going to close.
Not if you're wearing
the
that
building.
shirt.
Oh God.
That's it.
No, can you please not take my
Don't ruin our show.
don't ruin my show.
Don't. I know the sound of someone being afraid of being upstaged. I've been doing this for a while now, so it's okay.
Game
I'll
on.
leave it go. What you got? A heap of other shows and stuff other than your own coming up.
You know, I do a lot of things. I got my fingers in many pie holes. American Pie quote. Yeah, so what have I got? Oh my God, I should. I do a lot of DJ gigs. People don't know it, but I do.
What do you DJ at?
We do a lot of like rockabilly events. So the Dirty Devil Bar, which I mentioned before, has just opened up. It's like a cool underground little rockabilly bar.
Okay.
So they have bands and stuff like that.
So the Sauceman playing there like every week? Yep.
No, hopefully not every week.
Oh.
We got the Detonators coming down in December the 8th.
Cool.
There's a Day of the Dead show in November. I do the Casino, which is just,
Fun.
Cha-ching.
Fun with clenched teeth is always so much fun.
It's fun with Lucky Seven. They're top guys. So.
Cool. Yeah. Yep.
I pretended to be into rockabilly for a summer once, but the clothing's so expensive.
Is it?
Yeah, pretty much. All the diner shirts, because I got like
but you like
imported
that
American
stuff.
And
vintage now,
the day that it stopped, I thought I looked like the coolest like psychobilly guy in the history of the world, right? And this guy called me, this random just goes, "Oh, nice shirt, Charlie Harper." And basically said I was wearing a 2.5 men shirt because it was half white, half
the
black.
Bowling shirt.
The bowling shirt. And I was like,
they are
I
pretty lame.
have just cut off my glam rock hair for no reason at all because I'm out of it. And also, I thought in my mind that I straight up looked like... almost like Danny Zuko, pretty much. That's not that that's basically
like a ginger version.
No, maybe a Kid Nicky on a bad day. But sadly, I just look like Meatloaf from Rocky Horror Picture Show, and I didn't know it until a photographer friend said I'd got this idea for a shoot, and then just sent a still from the movie, and I was like, "But I'm not fat." At which point she goes, "Oh."
You are.
Yeah. But you are. She goes,
you're
I can use some...
cushy.
You're like, I thought it was Danny Zuko.
No. She said I could do some camera magic to make you look the right size. She goes,
Vaseline that lens, does she?
No, she basically just said all I have to do is just point the camera, and it's a built-in app on the camera now that'll make you look like a fat guy with greasy hair. So there's my story of rockabilly.
They can take away butt. They can put butt on you. They can do whatever they like.
Do you want to shout out any... Do you want to do a call-out to any of your local rockabilly band friends?
What do you do?
Drop some names. Drop some names.
No, because that's not fair. Because what if I miss someone?
Then that's on you. That sounds like a you problem more so than an us problem.
I'm not just, into rockabilly, man. Can you just... Don't put me in a box.
Remember the pie hole? She's got many fingers.
Yeah, I've got many fingers.
Many pie hole fingers. There's at least 10 pie holes on the go at any one time.
Yeah.
What's your go-to DJ song like?
Oh, see, I'm pretty old school, so I like a lot of 50s, 60s soul. Cool. It depends what, because I usually play in between sets, so you got to fit the criteria and kind of.
So you would have done the one at Anzac Highway, the rockabilly show.
Yeah. Custom culture.
Yeah. Yep.
That's a great event as well.
Have you ever played the 80-minute, the 79-minute version of Hey Ya by Outkast?
Totally,
ever?
yeah.
Because that's a winner.
That's just one gig full. Just push play.
That's one burnt CD as well.
Boom.
That's why it's 79 minutes.
Yeah.
It reminds me of, I hate the show, but How I Met Your Mother has an episode where...
What do you hate? How can you hate that show?
I just don't like it. You just love sitcoms.
I don't like it.
They had the tape
either.
of the Proclaimers 500 Miles stuck in the tape deck.
Yep.
And that's exactly what 79 minutes of Hey Ya's all right bit is. Because at first it's funny, then it's so super irritating.
Yeah.
Then it's funny because of how long it's been going. And it just comes around and around. And, good times, guys.
Private events like weddings, you can always crank out the bangers like, you know, Rain by Dragon. You know, it gets them just like pumped.
One thing I found really interesting about that song, because now we're Double M, we go down the path of learning that in the start of Saturday Night by Cold Chisel, because it was after the sad passing of Dragon's frontman, right in the start of that, you just showed your bogan colours. You're
lucky I don't have.
If you listen, you can actually hear the chorus of Dragon's Rain playing on the jukebox in the opening sound clips, right? And that was to basically get some royalties, because at the time Cold Chisel were making the money.
Oh.
And so as a sorry about what happened to you guys, here's a #1 Australian hit with royalties going to you guys. So there's a good story.
Love a bit of music trivia.
You love a good story about Barnsey.
Yeah,
because
Barnsey.
I like that you started off being, because typically it seems that rockabilly is somewhat of a cultured style of music. If that's
it is.
Almost a niche, not a niche, but it's not.
It's definitely have, you know, their own little scene. So
the radio doesn't look after it. Basically,
not really, but I mean, it's bigger in America.
Seeing you switch on when I mentioned Cold Chisel was very revealing.
Oh, my eyes lit up like, Barnsey. No, you know, as I said, I'm not just one genre, so my music choices are very bogan, actually. Like, I love good Aussie pop rock. Don't know, like, it's just not rockabilly for me. Like, I like a lot of things.
And how hard are you biting your tongue over there, Paul? I can't see at the moment.
I'm not, what?
Aussie pub rock.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not a fan.
He's a punk rocker for reals.
Oh.
He doesn't just dress up like
He said I'm a punk rocker. He doesn't say that I had like a life-threatening disease.
90s grunge as well. Like, that's one of my top genres.
I'm actually more going back into that now, because I started listening to Soundgarden a lot.
Ooh.
And I just forgot how good they are.
Yeah.
I would really like to get to a point where Pearl Jam's 10 album gets unruined for me by their latter day music.
What are you doing? Why are you throwing down with me tonight?
No. I love...
Every one of their albums is amazing.
No, I love 10 so much, but then you go and listen to pretty much anything after that awesome...
if you can't name it...
Do the Revolution.
Do the Evolution.
Do the Evolution. Shut up.
So anything from 1996's Yield onwards.
Yeah. Sex. Except for the last kiss they did for the Bosnia or whatever.
What?
There was a country that something bad was happening. They needed to raise money.
I might be. I ran into Shannon from WOW on the weekend, and he wants me to come in for a look back on Pearl Jam's verses for one of his. Yeah, so I'll be going back. And now he has to, because I've mentioned it already.
Good times. We might go to some things that aren't us talking here on WOWFM. It is Dave's Video Graveyard, currently going through Miss Curvella's social media and rating all your photos.
So, as I was saying, I'd love to get a photo with you guys.
Definitely.
And see if we can, you know, get some good
reckon
likes.
If I was to put a little bit of my ginger cleave in the shot, likes to go through the roof. You'll actually you'll get an email from Instagram saying, "Hey, we're pretty sure that you've got some kind of bot working for you, because the amount of likes, it's pretty much Kim Kardashian's entire like backlog in one post." So just be warned.
Fanta
It
pants.
is actually my wrestling name. I've told you many times. Is Bulk Bogan.
Is that really yours?
I want it to be. Because
do you have one or?
No, I'm not really a wrestler.
Oh.
My stage name for a long time was Davey Damaged, because
yes.
I used to work somewhere where the antics that my band were doing were getting me in trouble at the place that I worked, because the sentence "bringing the station into disrepute" was used, because apparently you can't just write songs about vaginas and it not conflict with an easy listening radio station. So good times.
We all have them. Well, 50% of us have them. So
I've got one. in my fridge.
Ginger man.
See, you always do it, Paul. You always set me up to say creepy stuff.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm...
Don't blame others for your creepiness.
If you have to pretend to be...
Riding in cars with boys.
Own it.
Oh, Paul's just making a to-do list of the weekend. Riding in Cars with Boys, starring the ever-wonderful Drew Barrymore. Do you hate Drew Barrymore? Because I feel like you would. Someone I recently spoke to had a big rant and I was upset.
What was the problem with her?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mine's from Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 1 and 2.
Oh,
Kirsten Dunst.
That's
Yes.
yeah, I'm mixing it up.
Summer Teeth, yeah.
But she was fantastic in Interview with the Vampire.
I don't know whether you can say that or not.
She was fantastic in... She was in a fantastic movie called Small Soldiers.
her
I don't know
voice
whether
is
you should-
annoying.
Nothing wrong in that entire sentence.
I think you should be talking more about her over 18 roles.
Shut up. Riding in Cars
She
with
was great,
Boys.
Jumanji.
It is the movie that I didn't get around to seeing because it kind of looks like Now and Then on the cover of it, but it's nothing like that.
No.
And I also managed to love Steve Zahn without having seen that film.
It's
Tell
very
us
good.
all about it.
Well, it's like
Her T-shirt looks nice on the cover of the DVD/video.
It's like a movie where, you know, you basically think your life is going a certain way and it turns out a completely different way than you thought. And it's, I don't know, it just, you know, I like it. It's not sugar-coated. It's kind of raw, you know. And she does a great job.
2001 Drew Barrymore
Yeah.
I remember
is
when
very beautiful. She's always beautiful.
I remember when it came out. The cover did not convey how sort of
Exactly.
dark it got, and I was working at a video store at the time, and I had a lot of older people hiring it, and then coming back and going, "Oh, it wasn't what I thought it was." I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, they kind of needed to do a better job with the cover. But,
a lot of that happened in the late 90s, early 2000s. It's like, let's just try and sell it when it's not telling what it's actually about.
I had an unwritten rule for a long time. Whenever I was sent to the DVD shop and my wife didn't want to come with me, but she wanted me to hire something for her, as long as you hire something that had a white outline, like as in the cover being predominantly white, you knew it was going to be like an unconfronting chick flick for the most part. And that's pretty much what this looks like. But then when I was watching the trailer and trying to get a feel of it, I was like, this gets a bit gritty in a lot of places.
Yeah.
But it also has one actor that I cannot stand, and that is James Woods as her dad. Who is that actress that plays the young girl version of Drew Barrymore? Because the fact she is not an Oscar-winning famous actress by now is insane, because just the scenes that I saw online with her, it was like a time-travelled Drew Barrymore.
Yeah. And also the other actress that unfortunately died.
Brittany Murphy.
Brittany Murphy, yeah. She was cool in it as well. Yeah, it's just, I can kind of relate to it, kind of, I think, in a way, and that's why I like it. Yeah.
I don't like getting into movies where people realise that their life they're living kind of sucks, because it's too scary. It's a crisis waiting to happen.
I think it's kind of real, like, you know, it's life. You know, it can turn a different way. It can suck, but, you know, it's how you deal with it. You don't want to see, like, movies that, you know, sugarcoats life and you think it's going to go a certain way.
My wife and I recently watched a Ryan Gosling film called Blue Valentine. And I was awfully triggered because it starts with so much potential and, you know, how they're going to live their love story life for the rest of life. Skip forward 10 years and he's fat and paints houses, and I was offended as a fat guy that paints houses. That's not how you lose.
My dad's a painter as well.
Well,
and he's cool.
See, it's not losing at all.
What's the one with Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet where they're basically fighting the entire movie?
Titanic.
No, it's like
the Billy Zane.
It's like
vehicle?
set in the 1950s or 60s as well, and like it's just. There's another one where I'm just like, I'm uncomfortable at the end of this movie. It's they've just been fighting the entire time. I want to turn it off.
Does she at any point in the movie?
No.
Okay, that's why I haven't seen it then.
Riding Cars with Boys also directed by Penny Marshall, who is
the director of Big. Speaking of Big, coming up on Thursday, releasing the next episode of our podcast, davesvideograveyard.com to check that out. It's going to be problematic.
So you said something about going to the video shop. How many years ago was that?
I still buy videos when I go to the DVD shop now,
Is
so
there-
I still do that. There is one left that I know in the western
hire
suburbs.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
There's one up in the northeast too at Fairview Park.
Yeah, right.
Because that was literally the best time. Like when I was growing up, you know, my dad used to take us to the video shop. We'd spend hours. You get like 10 for $9.95. You spend hours looking and choosing them, and then the weekend watching them.
Yep.
It was just a great time.
It was a huge part of it.
Videola, actually, down the road.
Videola, that's a cool name.
It was cool.
Our
Semaphore Road.
Where I grew up, our little family dynamic was Saturday night was movie night.
Yeah.
So we'd go down to the local video shop. There was only a couple of blocks away from home. It was the biggest one in town. And my sister and I were allowed to pick one weekly each. And Mum and Dad got the overnight because on Saturdays it was hire and overnight. You get 2 weeklies free. So that was the dynamic. And I've told the story many times, but the first time I was allowed to pick the overnight, I picked the movie called Time Cop, and there's so much explicit... Oh, and the provision was that you sat down as a family and watched the film together. So the first on-screen explicit sex scene that I watched with my family was Time Cop.
Wow.
And I wasn't allowed to pick the overnight for a good 16 years after that. And every time I see Van Damme, I just think of watching a sex scene with my family. Because that's what movies do. It builds... memories.
It does. Well, I remember, like, you know, we used to watch Eddie Murphy Raw when I was like 10. My dad.
Most stolen tape from my store.
My dad let us watch it, and my mum would be like, "Why are you letting him watch that?" You know, and
we were a delirious family, but I was way too young.
Delirious.
I was way too young for watching that when I did.
And they wonder why I have a foul mouth. Like,
I reckon our generation, to a degree, we all watched so much stuff that wasn't for our age group. You know what I mean? Because there was almost a lot less recognised fallout from like showing kids all this stuff.
There's parts of those two shows though that do not age well.
No, yeah,
like it's of a time, but yeah,
yeah, definitely.
Well, Rocky Horror, that's another one. You know, that probably shouldn't be watching when we're 10, but you know, you don't look at it like that when you're 10, you know, that, you know.
Paul teases me for Rocky Horror because of the sheltered life I live until I met my wife in 2005. I thought that the story of Rocky Horror was they go to the Frankenstein place, the elevator comes down, Tim Curry sings Sweet Transvestite, and the movie ends.
Oh.
Because we used to spend weekends at my auntie's house, and she had Rocky Horror on video. And for some reason, that's the way the movie went. Until 2005, me and my wife went to the cinema in Goodwood and watched...
Oh, the whole...
And it was...
So you realised that he made a man that he could use for sexual pleasure.
Did they get all the characters in this movie to do music videos for all these other songs that they didn't even put in the movie? The Time Warp's not even in the version that I saw.
What were you watching?
My auntie used to turn it off because it just got sexually explicit after that point.
God.
So yeah, maybe we weren't exposed. So why am I like I am?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it because of Van Damme's bottom hole with my family sitting on the lounge together? Because that's what I think it is.
That's the start.
We've all had those movies where they've scarred us a bit, I think.
Do you think that it gave you the inspiration for the shows you do?
Oh, yes. I want
an actual
I want to be a
question.
man that dresses up as a woman. No.
Yeah.
Definitely like performing,
Yeah.
you know, costumes and all that, yeah. Like I used to, even with Grease, like want to dress up and sing the songs that are in the movies, and even with Rocky Horror, like the lingerie, even though he was a man, I was like, oh my God, he's so cool and like he's got attitude, and I just want to be like that, like confident, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you seen any of the live productions of Rocky Horror?
Yes, a long time ago.
Craig McLachlan era?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
And but he's in trouble now. He's got the flick. Yep.
That's a big part of this show is nearly weekly us coming on, and pretty much there was a timeline where we spent a week talking about how much we love Kevin Spacey in Seven and The Usual Suspects in the following week, basically mentioning that we could no longer say how much we loved him in anything.
Yeah, there's there's going to be a new one.
Let's face
week.
it though, it's a step in the positive direction.
Yeah,
but it sucks for fans of Seven.
Yeah, so definitely, Rocky Horror was a big part of growing up for me. Yeah, I just thank my parents for letting me watch these movies, these R-rated movies, when I was underage. Clearly,
I remember
shaped who I am today.
Well, Rocky Horror, I think was M because like heaps of parents used to give it to the kids at work, and I was like, I don't think you know what this is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my auntie, who when she had my cousin, which is younger than me, she used to come over and my mum would babysit her and put Rocky Horror on, and my auntie would be like, "Do not put it on," and like mum would sneak it on, and I didn't think there was anything of it, but because I was watching it when I was her age, but yeah, I don't know.
Well, I was talking to a mum the other day, and they said that her son is like quite the dresser up of and she allowed him to watch some parts of Priscilla. She's like, I was like, even the ping pong thing. She's like, he didn't know what was going on. I'm like,
that is one of the funniest movie things for me growing up. Priscilla, Queen of the Desert was shot in my hometown.
Oh.
And a lot of the extras pretty much all the extras in a lot of the scenes are from Broken Hill. And a girl that I went to primary school with is actually the little girl that unwraps the present when Terence Stamp's character... No, it was Hugo Weaving's character's done the present swap when he was a kid. And also knew the kid that pulled the plug out in that really grueling scene. So because someone from school was in the movie, all the parents showed it to their kids. And that was... it took me...
Broken Hill...
Actually, Broken Hill's not conveyed very well in that film.
We travelled to Broken Hill and brought our show over to Broken Hill, Peaches and Gin Burlesque.
How was that?
Oh, yeah, it was great, yeah. I'm pretty sure they enjoyed it. I love going to
Peaches and Gin.
Peaches and Gin.
Why are you hiding it from me?
I'm not hiding nothing
tell
from
us
you.
all
I like
about
to be mysterious. Oh, Peaches and Gin were...
Do you have photos?
Dude, everything's... to see on my Instagram. No, they were like the first burlesque school I went to and how I got into burlesque. Morale and Sapphire, sorry, they're the same person. Sapphire and Luna actually were my teachers, so that was about 6 years ago. The school doesn't exist anymore. Luna is putting on her...
I was actually going to say, speaking of Luna, coming up on
burlesque.
the 19th of October, or Oxtober. She is putting on Big Hearted Burlesque, which is raising money for the Asylum Seeker Resource Centre. Mm-hmm. So it's 100% going to those guys for a great cause. Yes. But you can head along. Just look up basically Big Hearted Burlesque on Facebook. That's your best way to find out how to get involved with that. So shout out to Luna.
Yeah, Peaches and Gin, they were great. They no longer have the academy. So now I teach at Hot Sauce Burlesque.
Yeah, right.
So we're doing a little floor number, and that will be at our showcase at the start of October.
Now, for those who don't know, is a little floor number where you've just got like a square metre of wood that you can perform on. Tell us about it, or am I just being a dick?
I forget that
Stop
you know
using
my
jargon.
terms. Yeah. So floor work is basically floor work. So the group I'm teaching, we're doing some
So you do
sexy
parquetry is what you
floor
say.
work. We
You
roll
lay
around.
floorboards?
We just roll around on the ground, kind of look cool and take off something and
tying it back to being topical. That is how I
just
watch
check
movies.
if there is any loose boards while we're there.
Yeah, right. Do you ever get I, as a painter and decorator, sometimes painting skirtings.
Yes.
And there is the point where you kneel down to your knees and that soft bit of your knee that my friends have told me is called the bastard soft, the soft spot.
Yeah.
When that lands on like a pebble or just, it doesn't matter how small, whatever it is like just
Floor
instant
work
death
is
through
the
them.
work. Like I'm old now, so my knees aren't holding up very good. So when we practice, we wear knee pads. And you should do, like when you get down.
I have them built into my pants.
Yeah.
And I get teased a lot for that because...
Dude, who cares? Like, that hurts.
Trade industry is pretty cruel because a lot of it is... 90% of it is let's gang up on someone and tell them the wrong thing. Like painters no longer wear overalls. It's all just white pants, white top. But anytime you meet like a new apprentice or something, you've got to make sure to convey that everyone wears overalls, and then they show up first day of work with overalls, and you tease them for wearing overalls because it's the culture we've built.
Oh my God, like my dad still wears his overalls. He's
but he's old school.
Yeah, he's
I
old
mean, like
school.
from
They're
now
cool.
on, it's the separation of the old and new, because this is Dave's painting graveyard and succulents. What is your favourite kind of show? Is it? Do you prefer producing a show, putting it on, and doing all that kind of stuff? Do you prefer to be backstage?
Hence why I haven't.
Or the attention, front stage?
Hence why I haven't put a show on before. This is my first show I'm producing. Right. Yes.
So good question is what you're telling me.
It took me a long time. I just couldn't be bothered with the backlog, the backbone of putting it all together. But performing with a live band.
You weren't ready to call in all the favours that you had, basically?
Yeah, I just, pulled a, but yeah, no. So I don't know. I like just coming in, doing my thing, and not having to deal with the backlog of admin and all that stuff. But this one I've really enjoyed because I think it's something that hasn't been done before, like a rock and roll band, performers doing it together. So I think I'm going to enjoy it.
Would you like to go on the record right now saying it's going to be the greatest burlesque show in the history of the world?
Sing me a song. I just thought of that song. It will be. So I think
you heard it here first.
Like, dude, and it may not happen again. So you need to come. Like,
you picked a fantastic band as well with the Babes. Very good friends of the show.
How talented are they?
They were friends of the show, but last time they were here, I just full on stole JD's look. I was like, I really like his hair. I like his look.
That's what you looked.
And I fully stole it from JD. So,
but just with a weird shirt on.
Speaking of the Babes, coming up next Monday night here on Dave's Video Graveyard, we will be joined because Paulie won't be here.
No.
Paulie has to go and do a secret underground fighting thing that I'm not supposed to mention on air. And I'm doing well so far. Or he's going on holidays. I think mine was more interesting. We'll be joined by Donna and Monty from the Babes. So I think it's a great time to hear from them right now on DVG. It is 100.5 WOWFM, Dave's Video Graveyard. There we heard from Steel Dragon with Stand Up and Shout, because the next movie chosen by the wonderful Miss Curvella, sorry, not wonderful, just by Miss Curvella, is the movie Rockstar from 2001. I just remember she upset me while we were off air, so that's the theme we're going with now. We're no longer friends.
Precious.
And we are talking about a film that I love, and Paul, I know for a fact, absolutely with a burning fiery passion, hates this movie, as does Shannon from High Fidelity, because we did a special recently on the best bands in movies, and I wanted this at number 1, and they wanted me to not be there that night. So we compromised, and you're talking about this movie.
I'm Team Rockstar. Yay.
I am also Team Rockstar. You know my biggest issue with it?
I'm just going to do over here. That's cool.
As a massive fan of glam and metal and rock from the 80s through to the early 90s, the biggest issue I have with this film is that he's in his Kurt Cobain phase on the poster of the film, which I think would have hurt it, because if he was on there in his full noise pollution or anything like that, it would be the best movie poster ever.
Yeah.
Why did you pick this film?
Why? I don't know. It's just why. I don't know.
I'll give you 2 clues. It's got Timothy Oliphant.
It's got, it's just that glam rock, destruction.
And this is sit-ups and cardio era Mark Wahlberg. It's not the building
he's
muscle
hot.
again.
Yeah,
definitely.
It's definitely a good time for Mark
How
Wahlberg.
good is that wig, though?
I know. It looks so natural.
It would be so expensive.
So natural.
I did hear that they put him on because I watched the making of, because I'm awesome and chicks dig me. Not because I just sweat myself into the beanbag and can't get out to turn off the special features. They had to wear the wigs for a month before because they had to eliminate, when you put a wig on that, you've obviously got long hair, so it's not a thing.
Yeah.
When someone with short hair puts a wig on and it touches their face, they have the thing. So they were made to wear wigs for a month beforehand.
Really?
Just to get used to having long hair constantly, because they need to move and portray as if it's their own hair.
Yeah, they kind of look like extensions, not wigs.
Possibly.
Like, because I'm really
Well, they
good
still
with
had
my
to wear
hair.
them for like a month to get used to it.
Here's my problem with Mark Wahlberg movies.
Don't say because Mark Wahlberg's
movies look like, if you switch it on and you see him in a movie, it's kind of like he's in a Saturday Night Live sketch of them making fun of another movie. Like, you think, like, are you actually supposed to be here doing... Because you're doing an awful job of it, because you're an awful actor. And then you don't know where to laugh, because he's got, like, everything he does is kind of funny. Even if he's like, I watched Four Brothers, and there's like bits in that where like you think he's like being really serious, but I still can't. I gotta laugh because he's being Mark Wahlberg.
I get what you're saying.
These are all views coming from the new show here on WOWFM that is Paul's Video Cemetery, and it does not reflect the overall feel of Dave's Video.
What's the happening?
No,
what's the happening?
No, Mark Wahlberg's
What?
fantastic.
No,
just look at him or listen to Good Vibrations
and look at those leather pants
and watch the roller coaster scene in Fear.
Go back to the Funky Bunch. That's
good
fine.
Times. We were speaking a little bit off air. This is a movie I completely forget that Jennifer Aniston's in constantly, much like Office Space that was spoken about last week on the show. She didn't do much to stand out for a very long time in film.
Well, she's kind of didn't in this film either. She looked good. Like, damn, she looked real good. But
we don't objectify here on DVG.
Oh, okay. Well,
high five though.
She looked good. But yeah, she was just kind of boring in the movie. But you know, who was really looking at her anyway? Mark Wahlberg.
Not me.
And his voice, you know, it was so real.
I think it was Mark Slaughter from the band Slaughter, from memory.
Is it?
Yeah. Good times.
No, it was a great movie.
I love both the songs that were written for the...
I love the music as well. Like, we're rocking to it while we're playing it. It's pretty good.
Actually, watching a thing on the weekend, and I heard that Timothy Spall, that, you know, the fat roadie, he's also from Harry Potter, but I hate Harry Potter.
Oh, yes.
That guy was actually originally going to be Mike on the TV show The Young Ones, and he pretty much had it in the bag until the guy that got it auditioned. He was really skinny, and he looked like Mike back in the day, and now he looks like someone that you put one hand in front of your children when he's around. Just looks creepy.
He was creepy in the movie slightly as well.
This film for me has a lot. We also spoke off air about being in a band and the politics that are involved, and it almost rang a little bit too true. A lot of the bit where at the start where he gets kicked out of the band and he thinks it's a joke, just stuff like that.
I'm taking my mic and the mic stand.
It's very almost Spinal Tap in that it's...
But again, like, it could have been a Saturday Night Live sketch. It's like, you don't know what... fuck.
I'm just going to turn your mic off.
It's corny. It's corny, but it's like, I don't know, a rise, you know...
Boogie Nights. Boogie Nights, sorry. There's one movie that's good. Boogie Nights, that's it.
No. Fear?
Nope.
Boogie Nights?
No.
You just said Boogie Nights.
I'm just disagreeing.
I hate Ted.
The other guys?
Hate what?
I hate Ted.
Why?
I don't like it. I think the same thing of him as you were saying. It's just, he's not funny.
Yeah. But he's unintentionally funny.
I don't...
Oh no, two of the microphones broke, guys. It's just me and you here on DVG as we Google pictures of people and I describe them to you without objectifying them. You're wrong. No, right, that's it. I'm clicking on Mark Wahlberg in my mind, not on IMDb, because I know everything. And you are going to get learnt, guys.
About Mark Wahlberg movies?
Yeah, I don't like how far I've had to scroll to begin my retort.
So Patriots say, oh, wow, that's a terrorist.
The Departed.
Oh, wow, Jack Nicholson. Oh.
I did...
Say hello to your mum for me.
There is a skit on... well, there's two skits that I do love, which were the Andy Samberg doing Mark Wahlberg, because he nailed it. But also... there's a Family Guy throwaway in one of the early episodes where it says, we now return to Mark Wahlberg confused and thing. He's like, what?
Yeah.
Huh? What? But he does whisper anytime he's just meant to talk dialogue. It's like this "don't let anyone hear me" kind of voice. I've got all the way to the bottom of his list. I haven't made my point. So, yeah, The Departed. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm struggling.
He's done a lot of horrible movies.
What's the other one with Will Ferrell?
Daddy's Home.
There's Daddy's Home, or there's the other guys. Which the other guys is great.
Yeah.
I'm really struggling here.
Yeah.
Shooter was fantastic. I don't care what anybody says. Not the TV series version. The Italian Job was absolutely terrible.
So, the only Mark Wahlberg movie I like is Rockstar.
Oh, no. Oh, The Big Hit is one of my favourite movies. Spoken about 4 times tonight on the show.
You married a big hit.
And I'm pretty sure Planet of the Apes was on your list of movies you hated the most in the entire world, was it not?
Yes.
Good times.
Yeah, cool. Blow.
You can't wait to move on from that movie.
Featuring one of the worst, best mullets in the history of film.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us all about Blow.
Blow, who doesn't love a good drug movie? And
Me.
Johnny Depp.
Me and Jeebus. This is kind of the curve of his career before he became Captain Jack Sparrow and stopped trying.
Sold out, yeah. Yeah, I kind of like it. Like,
I feel like a really old man. You know those ignorant old men that can't understand certain accents? Whenever Penelope Cruz talks in a movie, I spend the entire time going, might need to take that again and put the subtitles on because I do not understand.
She's pretty aggressive too. Like, yeah. You disagree with whatever she's saying.
The thing that always stood out for me in this movie was basically it's about a drug runner that ran all the cocaine for Pablo Escobar into America back in the day. The thing that just blew me away was when obviously a lot of the movie sets up to him meeting Pablo, and then when he finally does, and it's Uncle Bully from Once Were Warriors, and I just couldn't let it go. And I was like, nah, you do not look anything like Pablo Escobar. But great film.
Good.
And it's also, it falls into the biography cautionary tale because there's not, his life doesn't go well to the end.
Oh, it's always going to end up bad, You're never going to get out of it alive. And if you do, you're going to be pretty much not alive because you won't be able to do anything with your life.
He's really fallen from grace though, hasn't he?
What's that?
Johnny Depp.
What was that dog issue when he
he went on a chartered flight and had the dog on the plane and didn't declare it.
Oh.
And then part of their condition of being for him allowed to stay, for them to not have the dog, I believe it was because the dog was smuggled into Australia. Australia had the right, if they wanted to seize the dog and get it extradited from America and have it put down, unless Johnny Depp and his girlfriend did a public apology, which to me is probably his least tried role in the history of his bad films since the 2000s.
It's pretty funny.
If you've seen the video of him and his girlfriend apologizing?
No.
Ex-girlfriend.
Very
ex-girlfriend.
They had
Amber
to issue
Heard,
they had to issue a video apology to Australia for Barnaby Joyce to not kill their dog, because that's how you get an apology from someone. I've learned that with my neighbour.
It kind of feels really media blown up. Like this is just.
It was more so. They kind of, the dog's back in America now, so we don't care. Was their initial thing when it came out.
I bet Barnaby was wishing for that dog thing when he started having sex with his staff. It's like a really good use of distraction right now.
So
can we bring back that dog?
He got whispers that was coming out.
Yeah. I did it too soon.
So I'll find the link at some point and send it to you.
Yeah.
The apology they issued is his worst role ever.
She's amazing in it. She's so deadpan as it.
It's pretty much, we are really sorry to Australia.
Like when your mum makes you apologise to your brother or something.
It was less than that. I've had more convincing apologies from people that have run into me full speed with their trolley at the supermarket, and I apologise to them. Way more convincing than...
Wow.
Do you like the Pirates movies?
I reckon the first couple were really well done, and the casting of all the like supporting characters, like
Yeah.
the dude from The Office with the mushroom cut that still has that today from the UK Office.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
Gareth or what? No,
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't think
Yep.
of it. Just all that kind of thing. Jeffrey Rush is really good in it because I think he's overrated in heaps of stuff.
What?
Yeah,
Okay.
put it out there. I don't like movies about pianists that ruin Silverchair.
Pianists.
I feel like there's just too many now. Like, they should stop making them.
I just was watching one. I was like, I just don't give it. Like, it's just. I don't
There
know.
was one where they're trying to find the
See, you don't
Fountain
know.
the Fountain of Youth, and that one was like a massive step down. I don't think Kate Beckinsale came back or Orlando Bloom. I can't remember, but it was.
Keira Knightley didn't come back for that
Yeah,
one,
that's
but
right, because I always mix those two up.
Yeah.
It was very stripped back, and every element of the movie they'd stopped trying. The CGI didn't look as good anymore. It didn't look as big budget. It was filmed on a mobile phone. It was, it didn't like it. Now let's go from, for the first time ever in one single leap, let's go from the Pirates of the Caribbean films to one of the greatest films from the 90s, most iconic acting in a film ever is 1990s Goodfellas, directed by Scorsese. Probably one of the most talked about films in the history of this show.
Yeah, I was gonna
Tell
say.
us why you picked it.
I was going to say, everyone's probably picked it. It's just, I love a good gangster movie. Yeah. Joey Pesci, he's just funny. Like, it's just him.
I thought you were going to say sexy. Like, the way you let in, I was like, I don't see it.
Kind of. No. I'd give him a go.
I'm more of a Home Alone era Pesci when it comes to finding him sexy.
Ray, he's kind of sexy in a weird,
ugly
way. You know what I mean?
This film is always the one where I'm like, I just need more Ray Liotta in my life. Then I watch all these other movies. I'm like, I don't need
It was like
more Ray Liotta.
Karina.
Oh, wow.
Remember that
There's
one?
a deep dig.
Yeah.
There was one called Escape from Absalom. He was in B-Movie that my
Was
kids
he?
watch all the time
Yeah,
as himself.
He's not a good fella. He's a bad fella.
He was in one of the other films on your list tonight.
He was...
Can't think what it was. Wasn't riding in cars.
No.
That's James Woods.
He was in something.
Very close.
Killing Me Softly I saw a couple years ago in the cinemas with Brad Pitt and James Gandolfini, and he was in that. He was good. Hannibal, the third Silence of the Lambs film.
Yeah, he was good in that. I liked him.
Yeah. He ate his own brain in that one.
He did,
Spoiler
yeah.
alert.
No, I just think this one, like, it's probably his best role, obviously.
Operation Dumbo Drop
When
was
he
a
just-
movie I went and saw at the cinemas. Him and Danny Glover have to make a elephant jump out of a plane. If that
interesting.
hasn't sold it to you, then nothing will.
Nah, I'm good.
Are you downloading it right now? Oh, you know what? I take back anything good I've ever said about Ray Liotta because I just read his IMDb. And in the year of 2017, he was in Young Sheldon. So let's just scrub that because he was in the spin-off of Big Bang Theory, the worst television show in the world. You like it, don't you?
No, I don't.
Good.
No, do not.
Paul, you
First 3 seasons weren't too bad.
Do not.
There we go.
I like sitcoms.
I, for some reason, auto-played a YouTube video on the weekend. Like, it played after what I was watching. It was like, the 10 best fictional doctors ever. And it was going through, and they were all genuine. The top two, number 2 was Sheldon Cooper, and number 1 was Fraser Crane.
Well,
and I realised I'd logged into your YouTube account.
as a
I found Paul's video cemetery. So, other than swallowing yawns right now, is there anything else you want to cover on that film?
Not that film. Well, I think it's got an iconic quote saying in it.
A quote saying?
Quote saying, you know, whatever you want to take. Oh, no, I can't say it because it's got a swear.
I think in
Do you
that
know which
context,
one?
Which one?
Do you know what I'm talking about? Beep you,
Do
pay me.
No, I was going to say, you want me to guess the line from Goodfellas that has swearing that you're thinking of? Guess what? You haven't narrowed it down to any line of the entire film.
I use this regularly in my field of work. Beep you, pay me.
Nice.
Basically, you know. Just pay. Pay for anything. You
I
know?
wish Australia had shoe
Like,
shiners because I would
would-
love to do the
They
go
do.
get your polish box. Do they? Well, I'm
Yeah.
not cultured. I wear shoes from place with K in the name of it, and they fall apart before they're old enough to get polished.
Wonder how many times the F word is used in that movie.
I reckon that Google will help us with that. Paul,
That
talk some words.
That shoeshine bit is apparently being dumbed down from what actually happened in real life too. I was reading about it. Apparently, like
Really?
the murder was like way more brutal because
It's pretty hardcore.
Yeah. Because like the worst bit is when he wakes up in the back of the car.
Yeah,
and
it's
that's the stuff.
Oh, the knocking.
Yeah, and I had to give him a couple of
500
jabs.
and... Oh, no.
My favorite part of that movie is right near the end, and when he is in court and then he starts talking to the camera, and he's like,
Yeah.
"We had it all, and we messed it up," and that whole bit is like, I loved his performance. It's just so good.
Well, that's another movie where, you know, you think you have it all and then you just got nothing, you know?
Yeah. The worst part of the whole movie is right at the end when they show Joe Pesci shooting. Like, the last frame of the movie is like Joe Pesci, who's died in the movie, shooting at the screen. I'm like, why would you get a generic...
Because they need to bring him back.
It's weird. It was so weird.
And what, like, that the babysitter stuffed it all up for him because she wanted a stupid hat.
That
Go back
scene,
and get my... I can't fly without my hat.
That scene is so good. I love
fly.
how when it has like one small character like that, it just messes the entire thing out.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Oh,
And she looks, and she gives him like that look in
Yeah.
the police station where she's just like, she doesn't get the
I
gravity
don't
of what
care.
she's done.
Yeah.
So Goodfellas is number 25 on the list of the uses of F words in film ever. So
What's
that's
number
not bad.
one?
300
Number one
uses.
is a movie called Swearnet, the movie.
Wow.
Go
The
figure.
second one is a documentary about the F word. Number 3 is The Wolf of Wall Street with 569.
Oh,
That's fine, yeah. Casino beat it straight
Yeah.
out of Compton. It's probably
that's
in this one.
Casino's got another brutal beating.
Of Joe Pesci.
Yeah, in that field, that's horrible.
That-
That makes me sick to my stomach. I can't watch it.
I was on a flight at one point and had Casino on my laptop and decided to watch it with earbuds. And until you have watched the Vice scene of Casino with earbuds and hear how good the sound design is on that scene, it is upsetting. You can hear a lot of
You
what's
can.
going on inside that head, and it's
Yeah.
it's great filmmaking, basically.
Yeah.
So rounding out the show tonight with Showgirls.
Oh.
Oh yeah, or as I know it, Jessie from Saved by the Bell gets her boobies out.
The best C grade movie ever made.
C.
D.
E.
F.
RoboCop, Starship Troopers, Paul Verhoeven. It is a B with a plus.
Yeah, well, you know, it's a lot of
It's a double
boobs.
D. It's a double
Yeah,
D.
there's a lot of double Ds in that movie. It's quite amusing.
I liked this film for a lot of the
Did you?
90s.
It's good.
Discuss.
I was such a already film nerd back in the day that my friends said like they got like a VHS copy of this and watched it, and I was just like they're all watching it as like guys watching a movie like that together is weird. It's weird, isn't it? Like 4 or 5 guys sitting on
Yeah,
like
I think
couches,
so,
yeah,
yeah.
and then like then there's also me like going, this is a terrible movie. It's like it's not about the movie, man.
Yeah.
Anyway,
There's
so
another
why'd
bit
you...
of domestic violence in that one, though.
Oh, yeah.
It was another brutal scene. I don't know why I've picked those. Not intentionally. But she
Yeah.
beats the shit out of him
Yeah.
in her 9-inch heels.
Well, I was going to say, I've just mixed it up because Robert Patrick was very similar in Striptease. So, yeah. This film always comes up on lists of worst movies ever made, and I think that's really unfair. It pretty much destroyed Elizabeth Berkley's career when it came to acting. No one wanted her after this. I don't know why. Like, she's fantastic in it.
Especially that scene when she had the ice cubes. I thought that was brilliant acting.
So did I.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that one as well. I like movies.
I've been to Vegas a few times, so I like going to,
Oh,
you know,
name drop.
You know, I like, you know, oh my God, that was in Showgirls. That was in Showgirls. I don't know. I just like it. It just...
Hey, Elizabeth Berkley.
Showgirls is Vegas.
That lady holding the "Will Work for Food" sign was in Showgirls, guys. Oh, there was a Showgirl too.
What?
Called Pennies from Heaven. It focused on the minor character Penny, played by Rena Raphael, and it was also produced and directed. Yeah. good time.
So is that
music
whole...
by David A. Stewart? That's exciting. That may mean the music is by the dude from the new had a stroke. The Eurythmics, which is one of my favourite bands. So yes, the music is by
it's not
them.
that bad.
Good times, guys. I'm just trying to find. I believe. Oh yeah, because it's Kyle MacLachlan from Twin Peaks and Dune. Elizabeth Berkley from Saved by the Bell, and she is even more attractive now than she was back then, in my opinion. Discuss.
No.
Why don't you guys want to do a show where I just get up, Google images, and we all discuss what we see? And Gina Gershon.
Well, you're looking and we can't see what you're looking at.
Yeah, well, I can describe it to you.
Okay, go.
It's actually just Kyle MacLachlan.
Well,
He's got a face I want to punch.
It's Gina Gershon and
Gershon.
Not close.
Do you just start reading names and then just by the end of it just go, bugger it?
Yeah.
Sounds close enough. No, I love that movie. I don't care what you say.
I'm not hating it. I enjoyed it for a very big part of the night.
I think it's just because I'm a pervert.
That's not why I like it. I just like good movies.
Okay. The storyline's great.
I watch it for the story.
Yeah. Can you hear the story on mute?
I don't know.
Thank you so much for coming on.
You're welcome.
And once again, let everybody know about Burlesque Bad Girls.
November 24th. Nexus Theatre. Go to my page. I'll have the link for tickets. Yeah. Why are you taking a photo of me? That's kind of awkward.
That's really gross.
You know, that's one of the most talked lines that I get. Why are you taking photos of me? Why are you in my house? These are all
You
questions
creep.
for another day.
Yeah.
But no, honestly, thank you so much for being a part of it. I will definitely be there.
Yay.
Paul won't, because he won't go to any...
Does it finish by 8:30?
No, it starts at...
because of his thoughts on the girls. It's he doesn't like to be near me. And my growly voice that kicks in for no reason.
Yeah.
It's going to be good times.
And you bring
Come on.
popcorn everywhere.
No popcorn.
Do you get... How many people that you grew up with or went to school with?
I don't know about that, but I get like the dudes that used to pay me out in high school in my DMs.
Oh, yeah. Don't we all?
They're like, hey, how you going? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Remember when you used to call me so-and-so? Remember you used to pay me out?
Remember when you used to kiss me on the WOWFM?
Not that one. I think he was like 5 years older.
Have you blocked him?
I can't even remember his name.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Gonna go with
Anyone out
Randy.
there can jump along on Facebook to Miss Curvella and check out everything coming up with all your performances locally and abroad. Will you please come back anytime that you like?
Oh, if you pay me. I'm sure. No.
You've already used up your F.
If you wear a different shirt, please.
How
I'm
very
too
good.
distracted.
I believe you have to draw a winner.
Ooh.
Yes, I do. We might put it up on the Facebook later because we are completely out of time. But if you would like to win some tickets to see the all-girl Guns N' Roses show this Friday night at Fowler's Live, simply jump on our Facebook and like the post. This is Dave's Video Graveyard.